I've always had a passion for being around and learning about animals. When I was younger, going to zoos and animal parks was always a part of my life. I wanted to share my passion with family and friends, so I started working with people that loved animals as much as I did, and my YouTube channel was born. Welcome back to my animal education series. Today I'm here with Leah at the Memphis Zoo. Hello.
Hello.
What do we have here?
This is Peabody. He's a European tawny owl.
And by the name, I'm figuring you can find these birds in Europe.
Yes, they are very common there. They're actually about as common there as great horned owls are here in North America.
Wow. And by, like, every other owl, are they probably nocturnal?
They are, yes. They are nocturnal. They're a little more crepuscular than nocturnal, so they're more active around dawn and dusk. They're not truly nocturnal like, say, barn owls, but they're going to be hunting at the nighttime areas.
And what is this little chirp that he's doing?
So that particular little chirp is his food bag. He just finished a show, and he's glancing behind me. He sees his exit tree, so he's making a little squeaky noise. He's basically asking for food like he would ask his parents when he was little. He's a captive raised bird, so captive raised birds tend to keep their food bags. It's just something they do, especially if they are around people who helped raise them, and I did help raise Mr. Peabody.
And this is also a bit strange for him, because he just finished the show where he usually gets to relax, and then you bring him right back out.
Yes.
He's probably like, what's going on? I was just done.
Yes.
I did my job.
He's like, wait, didn't we just do this?
And you were saying during your show that they have really big eyes.
Yes.
So like, how big exactly are they?
Well, his eyes are so large, they take up about 3/4 of his skull. And if humans had eyes the same proportions as an owl's eyes are to their skull, our eyes would be about the size of softballs.
Wow. That's insanely big. It says
Yes.
3/4, like, and there's not very much room for their brain.
There is not, no. A lot of people tend to think about wise old owls, it's the old adage, but they are amazing hunters. They're great at doing what they're built to do, which is be predators, but they are not the sharpest tools in the shed. He cannot tell you how many licks it takes to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. That's why the world will never know. I probably just dated myself right there.
And how does this coloration help them?
His coloration helps him to blend into trees. His actually is a very helpful coloration. You see how he's got the brown streaking? It actually, when he's on the ground backstage, we have wood chips, and when he's very still down on the ground, he blends in completely. There have been a couple times we've gone out and been like, where's Peabody? Oh, there he is. So this would help him blend into trees, but it's also a good coloration if he ever catches prey down on the ground. If he is working on trying to eat it, he's going to look nice and camouflaged with the ground. So if something is hunting him while he's hunting something else, he has a bit of an advantage.
And what animals would hunt an animal like this?
Well, tawny owls are what we like to call snack size owls. I'm sorry, I'm talking about predators now. You want to seek safety in your tree. Eurasian eagle owls are actually also found in Europe. They're about 3 times his size, and they would consider tawny owls to be quite a delicious little treat. So many other larger owls, as well as other birds of prey, and even some mammals, like foxes, would consider a tawny owl to be quite tasty.
And what would these guys eat?
Well, these guys are going to eat mostly small mammals, things like mice, chipmunks, that sort of thing, but they will also eat small reptiles. They've been seen eating snakes, they've been seen eating frogs, and other amphibians, and they've also been known to just jump on insects and eat those as well. They're not terribly picky.
And you're saying during your show that they're extremely territorial.
Yes, very territorial. Pound for pound, tawny owls are one of the most aggressive owls in the world. There are actually signs up in the European countrysides that warn bird watchers and hikers to be wary of nesting tawny owls because they are so small. They have to be very protective of themselves and their young when they're in the nest. So they've been known to fly straight at people, and they do tend to go straight for the eyes.
Well, why are you putting them next to me?
I don't want them next to me.
So what's one of your favorite things about these birds?
Well, one of my favorite things about these birds is actually how they look all cute and cuddly. People see him and they just go, aww. And in my brain, whenever he flies towards me, I'm thinking, ah, not the face, not the face, not the face.
So as you said, they go right for the eyes.
They do. He's a very well-trained bird. He's a good bird. He's never actually flown at my face. But every time he flies, I just think, is today the day?
So, I know, and many other animal people know, that owls have very good hearing. So, exactly how, do they get such good hearing?
So owl hearing is actually really cool. There are a couple things that help him to have such amazing hearing. If he will hold still long enough to show it to you, his face is shaped sort of like a satellite dish, and it's made up of stiff, bristly feathers. So those feathers can actually capture sound waves from the air, and then they funnel them into an owl's ears. And our ears are at the same level on our head, but owl ears are asymmetrical, they're lopsided, so they have one ear up high and one ear down low, which means based on whichever ear the sound reaches first, owls can pinpoint not only how far away their prey is, but also if it's making noise from, say, up in a tree or down on the ground. So when they take off to go hunting, they know pretty much exactly where that, we'll say it's a chipmunk is. They pretty much know exactly where it is, so they can take off and hit it on pretty much the first try.
And is that where these talons come in?
Yes. So his razor sharp little talons, as he's showing them off to you, are what he uses to catch and kill his prey. He has some pretty powerful little feet for his size. He has about, let's see, you're about 150 pounds per square inch. And not only does he have strong feet, but he actually has locking tendons in his toes. So when his feet close, it takes more force to open them than it does to close them. And when they do close, they do it very rapidly.
Kind of like an alligator or crocodile. Like a lot of force going down, but not very much to open it back up.
Yep, exactly. It's pretty much the same thing, and for pretty much the same reason.
And why is this bird such a great education animal?
Well, Mr. Peabody in particular is a great education bird because he was captive raised. He's actually really special. His parents are an older pair of tawny owls, and for many years we tried to breed them and we just really didn't have any successes. And then Mr. Peabody hatched, and we were cautiously optimistic. And then he made it past his first week, his second week, a month, a year, and now here he is about 7 years old, still going strong. So he's sort of like our little miracle tawny owl baby. Ever since then, his parents haven't had any problem. They produced a couple more little tawny owls who you might have actually met back at the sanctuary, Buzz and George, although I believe George is at the Milwaukee County Zoo. So I like to tell Mr. Peabody's story because he's pretty cool. And then in terms of owls making good education birds, they're perch and pounce predators, which means when they're looking for food, they're going to find a comfortable perch, sit there and wait for the prey to show up. So if I stay nice and still and I'm a good tree branch, as long as nothing runs by, like say a chipmunk or someone wanders over and cues one of his perches, he's going to be very content just to sit here and conserve his energy just like he would in the wild. So they make really good education birds for that way, but you can teach them how to fly in front of people because they are ferocious little owls.
And he's done a good job of that. We're here for the show, and he did a great job.
Yes, he's a little rock star. I'm very proud of Mr. Peabody.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about Mr. Peabody.
No problem.
And if you guys enjoyed this week's episode, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Instagram, @ColeShirk. As always, I'll see you next week.